Welcome to day one. So today we're going to really focus on introducing you to core activation. So let's start by lying down on our back. We're going to have our knees bent and our feet flat on the ground. And we're going to start by working on what we call neutral alignment. So the position we want our spine to be in while we do our core exercises. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to soften your chest so that your ribs melt down into the floor. So they're sinking down. You're just going to hold that there and relax. Let the chest drop, bring the ribs down, and relax. Try it one more time. And soften the ribs, and relax. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have a little tuck in our chin so that our head's not lifted all the way up. You want to keep that in. So let's combine those two. So ribs come down, chin tucks, and relax. Then we're going to add a little dip in our low back. So we don't want a big arch, and we don't want our bum tucked under. We want to find that middle point where our hip bone and our pubic bone lie flat. So there's going to be a little arch in our back where we can squeeze our hands underneath. So let's combine those three. So our soft ribs, our chin tuck, and our little dip in our low back. That is neutral spine. And relax. Let's try and hold that 5 more times. Ribs sink down, chin tucks, little dip in the low back, and relax. Ribs sink down, chin tuck, little dip in the low back, and relax. Ribs sink down, little chin tuck, ribs, and relax. Ribs sink down, little chin tuck, dip in the low back, and relax. Last one, ribs sink down, little chin tuck, and arch in the low back, and relax there. Next, we're gonna go into breathing while holding the neutral spine. So for our breathing, we wanna breathe in through our nose and let our belly lift up towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna breathe out of our mouth, letting the belly sink down. Breathing in and breathing out. Now we want to try and keep our chest relaxed for this so that we're not breathing into our chest. We want to try and fill our belly up with air and then breathe out. Let's do 4 more like that. Good, and relax there. Now we're going to do core activation. So for this here, we're going to take our belly button and we're going to draw it down towards the ground as far as we can. And when we think we've reached the end point, I want you to pull down a little further and relax. Now to make sure that we're activating the core, take your hand and place it on your hip bone. Take your fingers and sink into the tissue on the inside of the hip bone. Now, draw the belly button down towards your spine. Keep going till you feel a kind of like a pop or an activation in your fingertips. And that's the core muscles activating. So draw the belly button down, 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 down. Feel for that pop and relax. Draw it down and relax. Now, we're going to do that with our neutral spine. So soften the ribs down. Tuck the chin, little dip in our low back, belly button pulls down to our spine and hold your spine still and relax. Belly button down to your spine, keep the spine in the neutral position and relax. 2 more times, draw it in and relax. 1 more time, draw it in and relax. Now we're going to add some motion to our core activation. So bring your hands down to your sides. All we're going to do with our arms is lift our arms up and over our head and then bring them back down. But we're going to use our neutral spine and our core activation throughout. So ribs sink down, chin tucks, little dip in the low back, belly pulls to the spine, and we lift our arms up and down for 30 seconds. Now when we move our arms, make sure our ribs don't pop off. They're gonna stay nice and heavy into the mat. And we're gonna keep our chin tucked, keep the little dip in the low back, and keep drawing the belly button to your spine. Make sure to keep breathing and not hold our breath. And stop there. So from here now, we're gonna work our legs with our core. So we're just gonna bring one leg to what we call tabletop, 90 degrees with our hip, 90 degrees from our knee, and then bring it down. We're gonna alternate from side to side, but we're gonna keep our neutral spine and our core activated. So ribs down, chin tucked, little dip in the low back. Pull that belly in towards your spine and lift one leg up to tabletop and bring it down. And we're gonna alternate for 30 seconds. Squeezing the core, breathing throughout the whole exercise. And especially for this one, don't let yourself lose the little dip in your low back. Now, if you let go of your core, that's okay. Just try again, draw that belly in. Remember to keep breathing. It's very easy to hold our breath with our core activated. Good. And rest there. Now we're gonna turn onto our side. You're gonna lie down on your arm with a bent elbow or straight, whatever's most comfortable. You can also use a pillow or a towel. You're gonna have your knees bent and you're gonna imagine you're up against a wall. So your heels, your back, your bum, and your head are against an imaginary wall. The top hip's gonna roll forward. You can keep your hand on the hip as a reminder. As we open our top leg up like a clam, you want to keep this hip forward and bring it down. Now let's try adding, pulling our belly to our spine as we move the leg up and down. And we're going to do 20 of these. So remember to keep breathing. If you let go of your core, that's okay. Just reactivate it, pull it back in. And remember to keep that top hip forward. Good, we've got 5 more. And this one you'll feel a nice warm glow in the side of your bum. And that's good. Last one. Good, and let's switch over to the other side. So line back down. Imagine that wall behind you. So head, ribs, bum, and feet. Hand on the top hip, roll it forward. Pull that belly button to your spine, open the knee, and bring it back down. And let's do 20 of these. Remember to keep breathing throughout the entire exercise. And if you let go of the core, that's okay. Just re-pull it back in. And keep that top hip forward. We've got 5 more left. Good, and rest there. Now we're gonna come onto our hands and knees. So you're gonna place your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. We're gonna find that little dip in our low back. So we're not super arched and we're not rounded. We wanna find that middle point. We're gonna have a nice long neck. Our ribs are gonna lift up, so they're kind of softening again. And we're gonna pull our belly to our spine, just like we did on our back, but this time on our hands and knees. We're gonna hold it here for 5 seconds, and relax. Pull that belly in as much as you can, and then as soon as you feel like you've activated it, hold it and relax. We're gonna do that a total of 10 times. And relax. Belly to spine, pull, 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 hold, and relax. As we activate our core, make sure we're not moving our spine. So we're not rounding our back or arching anymore. It's just our core activating and no other movement. We've got 2 more left. Make sure to keep breathing. Last one. And rest there. Now let's lie back on our side, but this time we're gonna go onto our elbow, knees bent still, and we're gonna imagine that wall again. So our heels, our bum, our rib, and this time our elbow are gonna be in line. So we're nice and straight. Now from here, the motion's gonna be to draw the shoulder blade, or the shoulder, sorry, away from your ears and the ribs up towards the ceiling, creating a nice diagonal line. And then come back down. Shoulder away from your ears, ribs lift up and come back down. Now we're gonna add pulling the belly into our spine as we do this motion, and then relax down. And we're gonna do 12 of these total. Good, we've got 4 more left. Remember to pull that shoulder away from your ears, lift the ribs, and make sure we're pulling our belly to our spine, activating that core. You'll feel the bottom side of the core working a little more. Last one. And come down. Now we're gonna switch to the other side. So again, remember that wall, what we're setting up, elbow, head, ribs, bum, and feet. Starting by lifting the shoulder away from the ears, the ribs up, creating that diagonal line, and then coming back down. Activating the core, pulling it in towards your spine. We'll do 12 on this side. Remember to really pull that shoulder away from your ears, lift those ribs up. Make sure we're activating our core every time we lift the ribs, and keep breathing. We don't want to hold our breath. Two more. Last one. Wonderful. Now you've completed day 1.